Here's a cool tapping idea using intervals of a sixth and sliding while the left hand hammers on power chords. Check it out. This idea, we're going to start out with a B power chord, tapping on the 6th string, 7th fret, and hammer on the 9th fret on the 5th string. We're going to do them individually, kind of walking up, and then we're going to tap the 12th fret on string 4, and then the 12th fret on string 2, and this is all going to be independent, so we're going to do one after the other. Then I slide my middle finger up a whole step to the 14th fret, so that first part goes. Then I tap the 14 on string 4, so that's the first part of the pattern. And then I'm going to jump up, do the hammer-on power chord again, tap 16 on string 4, then 15 on string 2, slide it back to 14, and then tap the 14 on string 4. So that first pattern goes. And then the second part goes. And then we do it again. And then the second part, we're just going to go. We end on the 15 without the slide, we pause there. Now we're going to jump the power chord down to the 3rd fret, that's a G power chord, do the same thing, and we're going to actually tap the same thing with the right hand. The only difference is the left hand's moved down to the G. With the slide, next part, and then. So if you can see what's going on here, your left hand's just going. That kind of move. And then the right hand's going. It's actually a really healthy way to get your two parts down is to work on each part separately. Then you put it together. Okay, next part we're going to do is an E minor tonality. 7th fret on the 5th string for your power chord, then 9 on string 4, tap 12 on string 3, and then 12 on string 1. Then we slide up to the 14 on the 1st string, and then tap 14 on string 3. Re-hammer on your power chord, then 16 on the 3rd string, 15 on the 1st, slide back to 14, and then tap 14 on the 3rd. So that E minor one goes. Still pause on the end of the second time through. Then we go up to an F sharp chord. Just move the power chord on your left hand up a whole step to the 9th and 11th frets. And in the right hand, we're going to move down to 15 on string 3, 14 on string 1. We're going to go. And then I slide up to the 16th fret on the 1st string, then tap 16 on string 3. That high E string can get a little weak because it's a thin string, so when you do the slide and the hammer on, it's a little tricky to get the volume out of it, but if you hammer on solidly or tap solidly and then slide, keep your finger always pressed down to the fretboard and you'll keep the note ringing. Hear that? Then I'm going to do the re-hammer on again, then tap the 18 on the G and high E, slide back to the 16, tap the 16 on the 3rd, and then. Okay, so the F sharp goes. And then we resolve back to the B minor at the 6th string, 7th fret. and you just end it with a quick little. That's the 7 and 9 on string 6 and 5 respectively, and then 16 on string 4, 15 on string 2. And those are chord tones. A lot of this stuff are chord tones, guys. In fact, the only thing that's not a chord tone are the notes we slide up to, and then the one we hit additionally on the bass. So like for the B minor, you got your root and fifth, then the D is the minor third, and then B is the root. Then we slide up, the C sharp and the E are actually not in the B minor chord at all. They're passing notes, but they're in the key of B minor. And then when I do the higher part, that's the F sharp is the fifth, the D is the minor third. Then again, I slide back to the C sharp and E, and then those are your non-chord tones, but they're in the scale. So chord tones, not chord tone. Chord tones, not chord tones. And then here, similar idea. Oops. It gotta be minor. Chord tones, non-chord tones. Chord tones, non-chord tones. And then back to the F sharp. Chord tones, not chord tones. Chord tones, non-chord tones. Chord tones, non-chord. Chord tones, and then end it solidly on the one chord with the chord tones. Here you go. There's a lot there, but the slides, that's going to definitely build up some callus on your middle finger. Just take your time and work at it. A modern young guitar player, Yvette Young, does a lot of clean tapping with sliding sixes and sliding fingers around. That's what I stylized this example after, so have fun with it. Now let's play it together slowly for practice. 1 E and 2, 3 E and 4 E and. Cool. Let's do it again with a triplet feel. 1 E and 2, 3 E and 4 E and.